Hello beautiful people, welcome back to my channel. I'm Paige, this is Seeking Alexandria, and guys, today we are here to delve into none other than the newest sexy release from Natasha Denona, honey, the Metropolis palette. Now, I am really excited about this. As I was going through and swatching it just a few minutes ago, I have so many thoughts and opinions that I'm more than excited to delve in. Now, this is a 28-pound palette. It retails for $129, and there's a lot of buzz, I feel like, with this, especially in the overall just like aesthetic of it. Now, I will tell you from personal experience, and we're going to dive into the swatches here in a second, but while you are looking at this palette, there is something so odd about looking at it online, then looking at it in person, and then swatching it. I swear to you, each step gets better, and I've never had that happen before. I feel like all of her palettes, I've looked at them, and I've either thought like, oh, that's really nice, or oh, that's beautiful, or like, wow, I love that idea, but I've never looked at one and been like, it's a little bit bland, and then been like just blown out of the water by the swatches. And this is that palette for me. Like, I swatched it, and for some reason the colors are just so vibrant and creamy, and just like, whoo, guys, this is probably, let me put it to you this way, this is probably the creamiest palette I have swatched to date as far as the texture. And I was reading on her website, which we can just go ahead and jump over to that now. I mean, what a perfect segue. Hello, I'm a professional beauty guru. Because on her website here in the description, it says that this is the time to celebrate the season of our 5-year anniversary with 28 brand new shades and one new formula of Natasha Denona's iconic quality pigmented eyeshadows. This new formula will feature a hybrid creamy pressed powder, leaving you with maximum color payoff. Metropolis includes astonishing browns alongside bold green and blue chromes, velvety mattes, and sparkling metallic textures. And guys, when I tell you, like, I read this because I went through and swatched the palette, and I was like, there has got to be something to these, because I have never felt a shade. This is like a mixture, the texture is, between like a color pop, like a Super Shock, how it has that ridiculous just like velvety feel to it, but it's a pressed powder version of that type. And I know that doesn't make any sense, but that's the only way I can think to describe it. On the more shimmery kind of side of things, this guy right here is one of the shimmery kind of metallics. I went ahead and swatched it on my hand, and this is a great example of the shades in this palette that are a little bit more on the soft side when it comes to the shimmer formula, but they are so nice. But just something to keep in mind. As you guys can tell for today's video, hello, I have on no makeup currently, and that's because I'm doing it in a little bit of a different order, not because of the shades or fallout or anything like that, just because I want to be able to get the eye portion done with maximum light. And guys, I don't know what is happening in Michigan, but I don't think I've seen the sun in like a year and a half. Okay, maybe it's been like 3 days, but seriously, it's so overcast here. I don't know what is going on. So I want to make sure that while I have a tiny peak of sunlight, I can at least film those portions. Like, I don't care if y'all don't get to see the rest of the face looking good, but honey, the eyes need to be on their game. So I'm gonna go ahead, zoom you guys in, get into that portion, and then at the very end of the video, I'm going to be going through and talking to you about the price per pan, amount of product, and all of that stuff. And I also went ahead and pulled all of my other Natasha Denona palettes so I can go ahead and do a proper comparison as far as the amount of pans and the smaller palettes and how much you get for the price and all of that good stuff. So let's go ahead, zoom the camera in here, and let's get going. I almost forgot what a camera was called. Dear sweet baby Jesus, this is gonna be a long day. So I'm gonna go ahead real quick here and prime my lids with some Tarte Shape Tape, and this is going to be a whole different experience for me because I didn't even go in with brows first. Like, I don't even know the last time I did eyeshadow without doing my brows. Like my northern light. I don't know how to function without them. They're what give me guidance. So now going in to create the look I want, I'm going to start with just a basic neutral crease, and I'm going to start off here with the JH32 brush from Morphe, and this shade right here. Now this is the lightest shade in the palette, and I'm going to just take that shade here and run it through the crease, just as a way to kind of soften everything up. It'll give me something to blend into. I need like a fluffier brush. I feel like this brush isn't fluffy enough, but I don't see the one that I'm looking for. How about this one? Oh, this one's kind of fluffy. Okay. Let's try this. This is the IT Cosmetics Chic eyeshadow brush here, because I don't really want the shade to be like overly rich in pigment. I just want it to be a nice little light canvas. All right, and from here, guys, I'm just going to go straight bold, and we're just going to try to work it out and see how things go. Could go good, could go bad. I don't really know, but I'm going to take the original here. This is that JH32, and I'm going to dive into this deep freaking navy right here. This color is so gorgeous, and I'm going to take that and apply it to the outer V and hope that this goes well. I don't really know how it's gonna work. I just know that I really want to do like a blue gold eye. I think that it's gonna look so nice. So I'm just gonna take here, and I'm kind of gently applying it and then lightly fluffing it up. I'm gonna pop that on the inner portion of the eye as well over here. and then just lightly kind of bridge it through the center. Ooh, I like this. Okay, then I'm gonna go back in with that other chic brush here and use that to kind of blend everything together. Really like this blue color. I feel like you can do a lot with it. You can build it up or sheer it down, and it works really well both ways. Like right here, I'm just kind of building it up a little bit, and it builds up pretty effortlessly, and the base pigment is really, really pretty. Real quick, you guys, I want to try going in with this other blue over here because these are both very, very similar to each other. Truth be told, I don't think the palette needed both. So here are those two shades swatched next to each other. I do think they're very, very similar. Like if you were to sheer that one out, you'd probably get that color. I'm going to go in with this shade over here, and I'm going to throw that on the inner and outer as well. I just kind of want to see, what do they look like together if I pack them on a little bit? Oh wow, that's really pretty. They actually look really nice. Okay. Definitely don't think the palette needed both of those shades, but I really like the richness, and when you put them both together, the undertone's really, really nice. And now I'm gonna go in and just blend those together again with that JH32 brush here, just to kind of create a nice little melded world for everybody to live in. Guys, is it weird that I kind of want to put some orange in there? Does that make me super weird if I'm like, hey, orange? Orange and blue are so pretty together, and I feel like it's a color combo I never get, and the orange in this palette just like kills my whole world. Look at how pretty that thing is. Oh my gosh. I love that I have to talk myself into everything I'm doing. I'm like, right, waiting for you to respond. So I'm just going to go in with my Too Faced glitter glue here with a little bit on my finger, and I'm going to tap this all over the center of my lid. I'm just going to tap, 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 tap. And I'm going to go in with that orange on my finger here. And I am going to apply. Oh, honey child. Like, look at how pretty those look together. Don't they look like they were meant to be married? I love the way that that looks. Oh my goodness gracious, honey, great balls of fire. Did I just say that? Oh God. I think I want this color next. So just to recap, because I haven't showed you the palette in a minute, the orange was this guy right here, and then this color on my finger, which is so gorgeous. That is this guy, which is kind of misleading in pan. It's almost like a duochrome type color, to where when you're looking at it, you're like, oh, that's kind of a pearly type orange. And then when you swatch it, you're just like, oh, I don't even know what she is, but I like her. Like, she's yellow, she's got some orange, she's got some flavor. Doesn't look at all when you swatch it like it does in the pan, and I don't care. I also really like this one in the palette. This is just a nice little light color. I just went ahead and swatched them next to each other just so you can see the difference. I really like this shade right here as more of like that inner eye brightness or that brow bone pop or something like that. But for the pop I'm looking for in the center of the lid to go with that orange, I think this is going to be so nice. So I'm just taking it right here on my finger again, and I'm not going to apply any glitter glue because I just kind of want to tap it right in the center and just lightly disperse it again with a clean finger. Oh yeah, see how it just gives it a little bit more dimension? And then in the center of that, I'm going to take just a little bit more, the lighter one that I showed you right here. I'm going to lightly tap and apply that one to the very, very dead center and kind of tap it toward the brow bone up, just to help, again, open up the eye and really give everything more of a spread out feel. And this shimmer shade, compared to the other shimmer shade I just went in with, is much more dull, so I want to be very mindful how I apply it. I don't want to use too much. And I'm just going to go in with this little fluffy no-name brush here, and I'm going to throw that through the crease, no product or anything, just to disperse everything and just blend lightly that shimmer shade. Now I do have some glitter fallout under here, something to keep in mind, and I do have a touch of blue fallout over here as well. So somewhere in the process there was a little bit of kick. Again, I'm not mad at it. I'm used to it. It's fine. And I just really like the eye. Like, I can't stop looking at it. It's a problem. And by problem, I mean glorious. I'm just going ahead here and switching off this BH number 8 because I want to go in with just a touch, and I mean a touch because I'm about ready to overdo it and I can feel it coming. So I'm going to take a little bit of this bright blue shade right here, and I'm going to ever so gently place that like right on the outskirts of that gold. And I don't want to really pack it on, that's why I'm not using my fingers. I more so want to use this just as a very, very light transition, kind of fun pop between that gold in the center and the darkness that I had packed on the inner and the outer V. And now I'm going to go ahead here and clean up the outer eye. See what I mean? After you clean it up, I feel like it's just a little bit more, like, it's just a little bit more chill, but everything still works and it's just so cohesive. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna run off of camera. Obviously I need to do a lot. So I'm gonna go do all of that, try to get everything tidied up. The sun is basically completely gone at this point, so we'll just see how things go. If it looks crazy when I come back, I apologize. But I'm gonna go ahead, run off of camera, finish everything, and I'm going to come back on and discuss some more stuff. So hang tight and I will be right back. Okay, beautiful people, I am back, and this is the rest of my makeup. Everything is on, and I really love this eye look. The only problem is that my hair is back, so it's just like a lot of blue on my tiny pasty ass face. But even with that, like, I still just love the eye look. I think it is so, so beautiful, and it carries with it this nice like depth and mysterious feel. But then the center of the lid is just so glimmery and shimmery, and it's just like, oh, it is so, so perfect. Now, before I go in and finish up my thoughts on the palette and all of that, I did want to dive in, like I mentioned before, to the other palettes and kind of talk about the style of this palette and where it fits into what we have seen before. Because as you guys know on my channel, I always mention amount of product. That's something that I'm just like always going to talk about because I like going over what you get for what you pay for. But before I go into that, I just want to mention really, really quickly, there is literally zero natural light. Like, I actually had to shut all the windows, and I have just my filming lights in here. So if the lighting for this portion of the video is way crazy or like different than it normally is, I do apologize. That's something that I didn't have any control over. So if things do look a little crazy, that's what's going on there. But now going in and talking about these other palettes, this is something that I really wanted to mention because a lot of people were like, oh, hey, have we ever seen 28 pans? Like, that's crazy. Where did that come from? It's super out of left field. And I just wanted you guys to know a couple of her original palettes, which I have right here, are 28 pan style. They're just a lot bigger. Just to give you a little bit of a size comparison, this is the current one we're dealing with, which is also 28 pans, but the pans are literally half the size. These are 0.043, 0.048, right in that region, and these are 0.08. Now, along with that size decrease, you did also get a very nice price decrease as well. This big guy right here, the original ones, these are $239, I believe, and this little guy again is $129, so it's $110 less, and it's basically they gave you about half as much product and they cut off about half the price. So as far as what you're getting for the price, at least it is comparable to what we've been seeing from the very beginning as far as this layout goes. And just to kind of run through the other ones real quick, all 5 of these palettes that are in my hand right now, which is Biba, Lila, Sunset, Gold, and Safari, all of these are 15 pan palettes that all have 0.08 ounces a piece in them. And this little guy right here is kind of the oddball out. This is also a 15 pan palette. This is the Tropic palette, and these ones were only 0.05 ounces a piece, so these actually had a lot less product compared to the other palettes we've seen. And moving on to this little devil right here, this is the Sunrise palette. Now, this is the most recent one we have seen, and this was another attempt, in my opinion, from Natasha Denona to really kind of play around with price point and product, because this little guy, I believe, was $65, and you got 15 shades again, but they were 0.67 ounces total, which equaled, if you divide that out over 15 pans, about 0.044 ounces a piece. And comparing that amount of product to this guy right here, which is the one we're talking about, this has 0.048. So it's very comparable as far as amount of product. Even as far as price per shade or price per pan, if you will, the ones in here were right around $4 and I think 33-ish cents. And the one in today's palette was right around $4.60 per pan. So what does all of this mean, right? If we break it down, we've talked about all these pan sizes, so on and so forth, a lot of gibberish to say, basically, in my opinion, from the research I just did here, I think it's just right in line with what you should be paying given all of these other setups and the math that I have done from there. Let's go ahead and talk about my final thoughts on my first impression with this palette. Clearly, I just went through this part of it. I'm happy with the price. I mean, I'm never happy with a $129 price tag, but I am happy with what you're getting, what you're paying, like the logistical side of it. I'm okay with that. As far as the palette itself, guys, I really like this. This might be one of my favorite palettes she has ever come out with, and I think what it is the balance of these really, really rich tones, because they're not just rich in their tone, it's their undertone, it's their presence, it's that when you swatch them, they feel so silky and luxurious, and just everything about this, all I keep coming back to is like, damn, she is a rich palette, like in just every single way. I think if I could give you guys at home one piece of advice with this little guy, it would be do not judge it or make any snap decisions based solely on the pictures of it that you see on the internet, because if I would have done that, I probably wouldn't have picked it up. Like, if I didn't have a channel and I wasn't going to review it, I'd have been like, wow, I've seen this 1,000 times. But there's something about seeing it in person, and then when I went through and swatched them on my arm, I just fell in love. I will also say, if you're looking at this and you're like, oh wow, it's really bland, I have so many other things like it, even my other Denona palettes, it's really not as similar as you would think to these other palettes. I also want to go ahead and give you guys a little bit of some side-by-side comparisons, just so you can tell for yourselves that the shades in here are not as in every other palette as you think they are, because I thought the exact same thing. So this is the Sunset palette right here. This is the Gold palette right here. Sorry, I was going to show you the Biba one real quick, but all of my shades just fall out constantly with this palette. So I just got to put them back in real quick. Joy. Here is the Biba palette. I'm barely holding on, but here she is. And then here is the Safari palette, and those were the main palettes that a lot of people had questions on if they were similar or not. And I think for me what it all boils down to, once you've looked at all of those comparisons, is that yes, you've seen similar shades, but to me they're the similar shades that are in so many palettes. Like you've seen that kind of blending light brown or that light peachy pink or whatever. And this one, to me, there's something about the color story, and then there's individual shades in here as well that I just think are magical, and I wanted to mention those really quickly, and then I promise I'm done. This little guy right here that I worked all over the lid, I love this one, which I also played with today. I just love these so much. This one up here especially is so freaking unique. It has this beautiful like orangey but then pink peachy kind of undertone to it. I love this orange one. It's so freaking vibrant. Like those colors to me are just so gorgeous. I also really, oddly enough, love this kind of like greeny teal right here. It's so beautiful. The pigmentation is insane. It does have kind of like a glittery reflecty moment to it, but I just love that color so much. And then these are three of the mattes that I love in this palette right here as well. Like look at these tones and this color block. I just think it is so aesthetically pleasing. So overall for me, you guys, from a first impression perspective, I really enjoy this. I think it's a palette that I can make daytime looks with, nighttime looks with, whatever kind of looks I want with. And I think going into fall especially, this is the perfect palette to launch. Anyways, okay, I'm gonna stop talking because I can't stop it. But you guys, I want to hear from you down below. What are your thoughts and opinions? Don't forget, drop them in the comments. Also, don't forget, if you haven't done so yet and you like me, you like my vibe, you want to subscribe and turn on your post notifications, you can do that as well, because I do upload 5 videos a week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. They go up bright and early between 6 and 7 a.m. my time here in Northern Michigan. But anyways, you guys, that is it. Thank you all so much for watching. Please do not forget to have a great day, night, weekend, whatever it is when you're watching this, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye! I just love, I mean love, this color combo. It is so just like you know how when you look at something, you're just like, oh yeah, that's a, or that's a, this is a, did that make any sense? No wipes. Hello everybody, welcome. Hello beautiful people, welcome back to my channel. I'm Paige, this is Seeking Alexandria, and guys, today I am so freaking excited to bring to you the next layer. Don't think that was what I was looking for. Layer. You ever just have a word spit out? Like, I'm here to bring you the next penguin. No, Paige, not quite. I'm going to pee in my pants, pee in my pants, pee in my pants. I am going to pee in my pants if I don't get up. Ah! Oh, my legs. God, they're so stiff. Ow, those are my toes. They cracked. They cracked. I'm about to crack. I need to pee. I'm like Humpty Dumpty. Humpty Dumpty didn't sit down alone pee, Paige. You're nothing like Humpty Dumpty. I'm like Humpty Dumpty. Did you have a great fall? No, you did not. You are nothing like him.